Welcome to this week's Choose Your Own Deck reading. As always, we have 3 decks here. So this is going to be the Enchanted Lenormand, which will be deck number 3. I don't know why I started with that one. This is deck number 2. This is the Enchanted Tarot by Amy Zerner. And this is deck number 1. This is the Energy Oracle. So 1, 2, and 3. So go ahead, take a moment. Take a look at these cards. Pause if you need to while you're taking a look. And choose which one seems to be calling to you or that you seem to be drawn towards the most. And then I will have timestamps in the description of the video. There's going to be various messages here in this deck. I personally decided to focus the question here on finances because a lot of you who have reached out to me for personal readings lately, finances seem to have been a concern, and I know it's an important part of life, and it's, you know, a lot of people are wondering about that or are worried about money right now. So, but I'm sure there'll be messages coming in beyond just finances, or you could just hold a question in your mind and pick a deck and see what answers come for that question. But personally, I'm going into it with the intention of guidance around finances. So I'm going to go ahead and start with deck number 1. So I'm going to put these to the side here for a moment. And we're going to put our cards down. So Energy Oracle, this is telling us where you're coming from. You're coming out of a place where there was a pretty massive broken heart, you guys. This could also be disappointments. This could also be like where you were hoping that your life was going to go one way. Like maybe you thought you were going to go into a certain major, or that you worked really hard in school and you didn't get a job in whatever you went to school for. Or, you know, you didn't get to go to school at all. Or, you know, you went into the field that you had planned, but it ended up not being what you thought it was going to be. Or it could be that some of you have had your confidence shaken and lost your confidence due to a personal conflict. Maybe you had something happen within family that, you know, broke you, or you had a relationship that ended and maybe you just kind of haven't quite been yourself since. But in the past, there was something that hurt you, that caused you sadness, and you may be still carrying some of that energy, and that might be affecting your finances in that it might be preventing you from going and, you know, going after a promotion or going after a career change or going after starting a business because there's some wound here that needs to be healed or that you have just buried and forgotten about. You know, a lot of times that happens, you know, especially if you're a parent. And you have disappointments in your life and you think, man, my kids are depending on me. I can't sit around and be crying right now. I have to pick myself up by the bootstraps. I gotta go. I gotta get to work. There may be things that you have pushed down that you haven't had a chance to deal with, and it's preventing you from receiving because the heart chakra might be a little bit blocked. We do hear a lot of people say, oh, you know, if you're having money problems, that's from the root chakra. And there is truth to that, but you can't receive if there's issues with the heart chakra. So maybe some heart chakra meditations might be a good thing for some of you, or affirmations. I'm more than happy to help and, you know, help with a few of those if you want to book a private reading, or you could Google and do a search and find things online that maybe resonate with you. If you wanted to just go about doing a free search, you can do that as well. But that is maybe affecting or had been affecting you in the past in terms of finances. In your more recent past, the past couple of months, you have attachments, okay? So you may be attached to people or things or situations that hurt you, and you want to move forward, but it's been a little bit difficult. You've been a little stuck. This could be people that are discouraging you. This could be sometimes fear of being successful because you feel like, man, I'm going to leave friends or family behind and they're going to be, you know, like not happy with me, or they're going to call me a sellout. Kind of like that really smart kid in class, you know, they don't want to raise their hand. They don't want to act on like they know what's going on, because if they get attention from the teacher, then all the cool kids are making fun of him or her and calling her a nerd and putting her down and making her life hell. So there's like this fear of being seen, right? There could be something like that that's also preventing you from moving forward. Or your confidence is so shaken by something that happened in the past, where it's keeping you from moving forward or having the strength to try, in terms of, like I said, going after a promotion or getting a better job or looking for a job or starting a business. You're maybe chained a little bit to people or experiences in the past. And you also may be attached to the image that other people have of you, right? Like, I can't be successful because people don't take me seriously. Or, I can't be a doctor because people would laugh at me, like, oh, you could never be a doctor, you're not smart enough. I'm just giving an example. You might be chained to the impressions of others, and you may let their views of you dictate what you can and cannot do. So you're being encouraged to break away from that right now. So that's where maybe some of the blocks are. So in your present moment, we have 6th chakra, okay, Metatron. So Metatron is actually kind of helps come and speed up time. So you may feel like, man, I've lost a lot of time. He's also very helpful in clearing energy, and I think that's why he's here depicted on this card, is clearing the energy in the brow chakra, clearing your thought process, giving you mental clarity. So I think through meditating, a lot of you are going to be able to clear away the stuff here that's been holding you back, and it's going to help you develop a clearer version of what you want. We hear so much about manifesting, guys, but we can't manifest, if we don't know what we want, and if we don't know, what we want our life to look like moving forward. You might know, okay, I want money. Okay, yeah, but I mean, that could be a billion things, You could say you want $1 million and you can manifest $1 million, but there's a lot of different ways where that could come in. You could get $1 million from a lawsuit because something really terrible happened, and you might think, man, it's nice to have $1 million, but I would rather have not gotten that sick, or I would rather not have gotten hurt, or I would rather not my loved ones have gotten hurt. That's worth more to me than $1 million, right? Or you could get $1 million from, having a successful business or winning the lottery. There's a lot of different ways that it can come in. So more so than being focusing on the amount of money that's coming in or how it's coming in, focus on how you're feeling once it's coming in. What does your life look like? Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, focus on what you want your life to look like, not just the money, and not just how it's coming in, but how do you feel? What are you doing in your life? What are you doing with it? And focus on the feelings. So it's going to require some clearing of the thought process. It's going to require you clearing your head of negative thoughts about yourself. Like we said here, you might be chained up and tied to what people think about you. And here that's all being cleared away, right? You're starting with a clear slate, and you're seeing yourself as God sees you. You're seeing yourself as heaven and the angels see you. And you don't have to be so tied on with, being chained to the you that people tell you you're supposed to be or that you are. So clearing that thought process is going to help you moving forward. So your near future, the next, couple of months, you have the garden and the gate. And this is actually a card about abundance. It's about enjoying what's coming in. So this is a positive financial shift. This is things coming together. We've got the butterflies here. We have the transformation. So whatever you do here in the present moment is going to be successful in helping you transform into the person deep down inside you are, not the person that people are telling you. I mean, look at the difference here. It's a night and day contrast. You may be feeling like this. You may be feeling stuck. You may be feeling lost. You may be feeling chained. But you could be like this. You could have the freedom. You could be enjoying that garden. You could have a basket full of flowers, which is symbolic for abundance and for good things. You could be like that butterfly and transform. All you have to do in the present moment is clear those thoughts about yourself and to meditate on how you want your life to look like, right? And believe in yourself. And, you know, you can ask and you can pray for the help to do that. And then here you are, you know, in that transformation. And then your long-term outlook, what you have is man holding a heart. Now, for some of you, this could full on be where, you know, if you are a male, this could be that you're financially secure and in a place where you feel ready and you feel happy to move forward and to, you know, get more settled in, or to feel more confident, like you're providing for a relationship, or that you're ready for a more serious relationship. Or if you're a female, or somebody who dates men, I should say. I know there's a lot of, you know, there's not just women date men, but if you're somebody who dates men, what you may have coming in is you have a higher quality person that's coming into your life, somebody who's giving you a more genuine love, somebody who's gonna step in and hold their own weight in the relationship. They're not using you, they're not trying to get you to take care of them, and they're not being stingy with you either. You're in this fair give and take because you've elevated your energy and you're in a happier place and you're meeting more elevated, happier people. For some of you, this could be bringing masculine traits into your passions and the ways in which you're making money, the way in which you're developing your finances, where you're putting together that masculine planning, the logistics and things of that nature, and you're expanding even more on the finances that are coming in. Okay, so I hope that helps. So now we're going to move on to our second deck here. So second deck here, we have the Enchanted Oracle. Now, I took a peek at these cards, and what I ended up having to do is pick two more to answer for me a question as to why. I wanted to know why the information came up the way that it did. And these two cards here are the why cards, and we're going to get to that in a second. So in the past, you know, there could have been this Empress moment, lots of really big ideas, feeling very creative, feeling very intuitive, feeling very on top of the world, like you've transformed, like you've maybe arrived in your chosen profession or your ideas around a business, and wanting to do something where you maybe came into your seat of power, right? And you wanted to be seen and taken seriously. Or you just got tired of the BS and you knew that you were worth more. So this could have been like a standing up for yourself on some level in your career, or through academics, or through starting a business. It's just very much coming into realizing your creativity, your ability, and wanting to do something with that. And that's the more far past. Your more recent past, the past couple of months, you have Prince of Pentacles, which in traditional tarot could also be Knight of Pentacles. So this could be financial progress, but it could be slow moving financial progress. It could be very like slow and steady. There's growth, but maybe it hadn't been moving as quickly as you had hoped. It hadn't been money hadn't been coming as fast as you had hoped, or promotions or whatever hadn't been coming in as fast as you had hoped. And what you have here in the present moment is Eight of Wands. This is, you're kind of coming into a time now where it's going to start moving quickly. You kind of had this lull where it was kind of like, okay, things are coming in, but it's not super fast. Well, be careful what you wish for, because now you're going to have the progress coming in a lot faster. This could be a promotion. This could be a new job offer. This could be, you know, if you have a business, you might be getting a ton of new clients all of a sudden trickling in. Things coming very fast. People finding out about you very fast. You getting recognition very fast. And that increasing your workload and therefore increasing your pay. Okay, or, you know, the services that you're offering, and increasing the profit that you're making. But this is fast movement. This is stuff coming in fast. So you can expect for that to happen fairly quickly. Now, what we have in the next few weeks, you have Nine of Pentacles. So Nine of Pentacles is like, you know, your wishes come true. you've gathered a lot of things, and now you have a little bit of a break to where you get to enjoy it, okay? Here she is walking through her garden. Here's this little bird, which I have read is supposed to be symbolic of her having, you know, tamed her own, like, you know, unruliness or wildness, so that she's able to focus on work that needs to be done. So this could be you coming into a time of being able to balance the pleasure you versus the work you. You know, where maybe before it was like once you took a break, it was hard to get going again. But so this is coming into a balance, being able to work hard and play hard, but then switch back to work mode. And this could be also you kind of pulling away from friends and family and relationships for a little bit to rest from the work that you're doing. It's not a sad isolation or a selfish isolation. It's just like, man, I need a little bit of me time right now, and I'm just going to enjoy my success, and I'm going to do something for me. So this is positive growth, okay? And this is like being able to enjoy the fruits of that labor. But then what you have, you're going from 9 of Pentacles to 8 of Pentacles. And this could be studying. This could be like a reworking. Some people may read this as going back to the drawing board. Now, I don't think it's going to be that extreme. Like, I don't think you're going from this to all of a sudden starting all over again. But you are definitely going from this, like a step forward, to maybe taking a step back and reworking something. And I wanted to know why. Why is this happening? And, you know, because you have slow growth, sudden growth, right? Slow growth, sudden growth, being really, really happy, and then going back and having to rework something like, oh, well, that's not right. I got to maybe fix that, right? And your first card was a really high card, so it's just kind of like this, you know, up, down, up, down, up, down. And I wanted to understand why that's happening with the energy. And what you all got was 7 of Pentacles. So when this card comes up for me, this tells me you're working on something life-lasting. Like you're planning for the future, you're establishing a career, or you're establishing a business. This isn't like a get-rich-quick scheme. This isn't something where you're doing where like you're hustling and then like you're going on to the next hustle. Like you're trying to plan a future. Whatever you're building, it's like lifelong work. It's your life's work. So it's going to have stages where it grows quickly, and it's going to have stages where it's going to go through, you know, it's seasons, right? Like with a tree blossoms, dead leaves fall off, and then it branches new ones. So you're going to have seasons because this is a lifelong thing. But more so than that, you have 4 of Hearts. So you might be having all or nothing thinking. And that's why it's so up and down. It's not that your finances are up and down. Your emotions that are tied to it are up and down. Where you might think, oh man, last week I had a great week. I made a ton of money. And I'm doing really great. And then the next week, it's not that, you know, maybe you make a little bit less. And so you're like, oh, well, you know, my luck dried up and you're all bummed out. But for all you know, the following week, you may make more than the weeks before. Or you might think, oh, I'm doing really great in my career and I'm in a good place and I'm happy with what I'm making. And then you might start looking around and comparing yourself to other people. Well, that person has a higher position than me. Or that person just got that car. And, you know, how come they're able to afford it and I can't, and they must be making more than me. And then you start second guessing yourself. So really what you need to do is just focus on the joy that you receive from doing the work that you do, whatever that may be. And not having that all or nothing thinking, and staying in the gratitude for what comes in as it comes in, when it's coming in. Okay? So now we're going to go into our third deck. And our third deck is right here. And these are our little cards. Our little cards. So, one interesting thing I want to say here about these cards is what I felt when I was shuffling. I kept hearing the number 10. When the number 10 comes up in my readings, and you guys are the only ones that got this. I didn't get a number when I was shuffling the other decks. When 10 comes up in my readings, it means to me that you have finally successfully learned some life lesson that kept repeating itself to you. You accomplished some cycle. You're going to graduate from it. It's finally behind you, or the worst of it is behind you. So now we're going to take a look at the cards here. And you have the Child card. So for some of you, this could mean where in your career or in your finances in the past year, there were some really quick changes. It could have been that you lost a job out of nowhere. For some of you, it could be that you started a job, but you felt very inexperienced in it. And it just kind of was hard for you to keep up. For some of you, this could be where you don't have a lot of experience, or you feel that you don't have a lot of education, and you may have taken jobs that you feel don't pay a lot because they're like more physical, or they're not considered quote unquote skilled jobs. So you may feel kind of like, or you may have felt kind of like, I'm just kind of out here. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not making a whole lot. I'm not really that in demand, or people aren't taking me seriously. And you want to be careful of those kinds of thoughts, because they will affect your confidence, and that'll keep you from trying or working harder or going after bigger opportunities. So you want to be careful of how you're viewing yourself. Again, this is like in the more distant past. In the more recent past, what we have here around money is mice, and this could be diminishing. This could be where maybe you felt like, okay, whatever opportunities I had out there doing things, there's not a whole lot of work for people who maybe are doing jobs or work that's considered, a job that you don't have to have a whole lot of education for. Or you may have felt like there was some competition in the workforce or workplace, and now you feel a little bit like, I need to get out of this bubble. I need to get out of this place where I've been stuck. And your current focus in the present, you have lilies. And lilies can actually represent, in this deck specifically, retirement. So you might be thinking about the future, like, what have I been doing? Where have I been going? Like, my resources have been diminishing, and I'm concerned that maybe I'm not going to have retirement, or I'm concerned that I'm not going to have something in the future. Okay, so this is where your focus may be. But I feel for a lot of you, there's some kind of energetic transformation happening. Like I said, I saw that 10, or I kept hearing 10. So this struggling, this not knowing what you're doing, this feeling like you're not of use, this is behind you. There's some transformation happening here. I mean, there's flowers here, and yes, they can represent investment and retirement, but it's also blooming, it's also blossoming. You may be a late bloomer for some of you. That might be what the message is here. But there is progress nonetheless, and there is a promise of abundance nonetheless. And then what you have here in the near future, you have the Woman card, okay? So for some of you, this is going to be where you are gaining your power. If you're wondering, man, am I getting too old? Like, what am I doing with my life? Well, she's not some, 17-year-old here. It could just be that there's a lot of value for you where you are in your experience, and the way that you're carrying yourself, and the way that you're being dignified. For some of you, this is going to be where you are finding your life work, or your passion, or opening up your energy to financial abundance by connecting with your passion, by connecting with your creativity, by doing things that are bringing you joy and that are associated more with the divine feminine. And then what we have here in the future, or in the outcome, is the moon. So I think that for some of you, there's a blossoming happening here, and then there may be another period where you're kind of going within, and you're searching yourself, and you're having another rebirth, and then you're coming out of there. Like through the night comes the day. So there's another shining period that would follow. This doesn't mean that things are going to go bad for you. This just means that you're going through, like, this, in my opinion, like a reinventing of yourself. Like, you're realizing and you're seeing how amazing you are, and then you're going within and you're reinventing that, and you're putting that forward. But I feel that for those of you who got this deck, your income is coming in more so through your ideas. Okay, so I don't know if you're investing in something with somebody. or you're creating something, or you're writing something, or you're producing something, you know, or you are going into a line of work where you are able to use your creativity. You might be on the payroll of someone else, but it may be more creative, and you're contributing more creatively in that way. I feel that there's going to be income coming in through there. So I hope that helps, guys, and I will do another one of these next week. You know, your deck may have resonated with you, it may have not. These are general readings, so they're not going to be 100% for every single person every single time. You can check out the other, you know, choose a deck readings. Some of those may resonate more than this one here. And till next week, guys, take care of yourselves.